Hello and welcome to the Options Millionaire channel. I'm Andrew. Today we're going to be reviewing some price action from December 2nd, 2025. Now the reason why I elected to check out this session was because it had very crisp, clean rejections and bounces to form a very nice and very robust range day. It's not often we get a range such as this that is not riddled with a lot of chop and just wickiness and back and forth. This was very crisp and very clean. I'm going to show you exactly what I saw and why I thought it was so clean. Now, if you're unfamiliar with my system, I use a system called the 3C system or 3 criteria. If you want to learn about that system specifically, check out this YouTube video I posted a couple of months ago. It'll outline the whole structure of the system and everything I'm looking for to apply it. Now, this session was a broadening formation in the morning that led to the breakdown of price action for a bearish close into the afternoon. If you see on the 15-minute, we had a couple of nice tradable up moves and then sweeping down moves. Now, this offered a bunch of opportunity. You could have longed or shorted if you were bullish or bearish today, and there's ample opportunity, of course, if you're knowing what you're looking for. Me personally, on a session like this, I look for high volume spikes. That's the first leg of my system, is to look for volume inflows, whether it be at the highs or the lows. For bounces, I look for lows at the bottom. For shorts, I look at volume coming at the highs. In addition, I do not trade the first 15 minutes of the session, so I hold off all trading until 9:45 Eastern time because the first 15 minutes is the manipulation phase in the market. It's heavily momentum driven. It doesn't offer a lot of technical analysis. It's just straight gasoline. So I usually wait till 9:45 to put on any kind of actionable system. This allowed me to see things very clearly in the morning. As you see, all the way until the first 15 minutes, it was just back and forth, of course, and then finally we took a direction to the high side. The first real tradable position of the day occurred right at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern time at the lows. Now, what happened on the 5-minute chart? The price action broke all the way back down, and when we started to come into the couple of minor pivots from the overnight session, we had some volume spikes come in right here, along with some associated wicks, and then a higher high which occurred right here. Now, that's the whole premise of my system. First criteria is volume, second criteria is bottom wick, third criteria is high or high. So when the price action is driving lower, I definitely do not want to consider chasing a short position because we're starting to get high volume spike, which tells me we're hitting some sort of structural support in the market where the buyers are going to want to show demand. And then once the price action clears the higher high of 68.43, she climbs all the way up to 68.63. That's the clean move number one. Very clear, very technical. Now, after that strong move here, we started to come into this pink line right here, which is 68.64. Now, this was a market awareness situation. This was the prior week's high from last Friday, where 68.64 was put into Friday afternoon. Now, when you're approaching a prior week high, that is very typical for the market to want to reject that, even if only for a little bit for the first attempt of retouch. In this case, it full on reversed, which you can't always predict. You can always predict as some sort of a top wick. But being aware of this level will certainly help you keep you from chasing the longs and help you start thinking about, do I need to take a rejection play off of this? In this case, we did. Now, I look for accurate volume inflows on the 1-minute chart. I do not do any price action analysis on the 1 minute. I only look for volume spikes on the 1-minute chart. The reason why I do that on the 1 minute is because the 1 minute allows me to view the earliest instance of high volume on the chart. And once I see that, I flip to the 5, I flip to the 15-minute chart, and I'm looking for the associated price action that I want to see. In this case, at the highs, with this style of round over price action here, which is typical of a rejection, we get the super high volume spike that came in right here at 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Now, once I see that, I switch to the 5, I go to the 15 back and forth, and I am looking for two things after I see the volume: a wick and a lower low. A lower low tells me that the price action is ready to accept lower prices, the buyers have exhausted, and it's time for at least a temporary pullback. And of course, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know what the future is going to hold. I don't know how far it's going to reject. I just know that the current environment is ready for at least a temporary pullback. So switching over to the 5-minute here, we get a nice sweeping top wick that bought back up for a doji, which is a neutral candle. The second follow-on candle had this nice bearish engulfing. And once we got under the lower low of 68.55 right here, that's when we elected to take an actionable short position because now all three criteria are met. High volume spike at the highs, top wick, and then a lower low. Once that happens, the position ran from 68.55 all the way down to 68.18 for a very nice move to the downside. And the beautiful thing about this move is that once I'm in a position, I set my trailing stops based on a possible bounce if I'm in a short position. In this case, being in a short position, any higher high would get me to consider closing out any short side positions on this time frame. And since we did not put any higher highs in all the way down, that tells me that this price action is very strong to the downside. So it is my goal to stay in that position until that happens. And since I base my stop losses based on market structure, nothing gets me out of the position. So once we clear out about 68.46, I move my trailing stop into profitable territory and then just let it eat. And since it never puts in a higher high, I was able able to eat up most of this move until it came back up and stopped me out in the 68.30 realm. Anytime you're uncertain about a possible rejection or support or a possible move, I promise you, look for the volume and it'll tell you the story most of the time. Obviously not every time. Most of the time, it'll tell you in very bold letters what it's looking to do at highs and lows. Now, there's two more things I want to discuss before we wrap this up. In addition to the 3 C's, which are very, very strong in today's session, market awareness number 2 was a pivotal move in this, being aware of the fact that we were approaching last week's highs and the fact that the market was heavily diverged. The S&P was very red while the NASDAQ was very green. The only thing holding up the markets green today was the fact that tech was rallying and all of the S&P was deeply red. So once I started to see tech start to falter here, I knew that the price action was going to be a little bit heavier. NASDAQ was going to come back down to earth a little bit to join the S&P, and we'd have a little bit of retracement. And then the third variable I wanted to discuss is Spot Gamma. Spot Gamma is a 0DTE options flow tool that allows you to track 0DTE option flow. If you're unfamiliar with it, check out this video. Link is in the description. I put this out last week, and it'll help you identify these moves more clearly. Now, normally what I want to see on a bullish move where everything is climbing higher is I want to see both of these lines going higher. The green line is calls, the blue line are puts. That means if I want to see bullish moves, I want to see the green lines going up to indicate call buying. I want to see the blue line go up to indicate put selling, which are both bullish. In this case, I saw both of these lines going down all morning long, indicating strong call selling, strong put buying. So the options flow is very, very bearish, which is a big, big red flag. So with everything tied together here, I was waiting for a good short position to develop. And once I saw that volume at 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, it was prime eaten, baby. And once we got under 68.55 to confirm a lower low, it was off to the races. I hope this video really helps you identify what I'm looking to do and what you can look to really help you look for high quality moves. If you have any questions, come and join the Discord server. You can go to The Options Millionaire to join. It's $25 a month for a fantastic community where we discuss all this every day on daily live streams. If you're interested in being a part of the #1 prop firm in the business, daily payouts, free funded account, and no hassle instant payouts, come and join TakeProfitTrader. Use code OMTPT to join to get a free eval and a free funded account. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Until next time, I'm out. See you.